What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and I want to talk to you briefly today about Kyrie Irving and his performance in this playoffs. Now, not too long ago, when Kyrie Irving was in Brooklyn, we had, Joe Tsai, so many others coming at Kyrie on social media in their press conferences. It was almost like his career was about to end while he still had a lot in the tank. You think of some of the players, some of their beliefs and different things like that has got them marginalized, um, and really just pushed out the league before their time. You thought Kyrie had the potential to become a casualty of that. But I want to shout out Mark Cuban for embracing Kyrie at a time where people were going to try to paint a narrative, and really the narrative was going to be that as good as he is in basketball, he's not worth having around in the game. It's going to be much more of a headache. And so Mark Cuban brought him in. In the first year, it didn't really work between him and Luka, but they've retooled this roster so much. They've added Derek Lively in the draft. They went out and got PJ Washington, who spreads the floor, is capable of knocking down several threes and playing big, for them. You got Daniel Gafford out of Washington. This is a team that has, and don't let me forget Derek Jones, right? He is very instrumental in the way that they're defending Anthony Edwards, that initial line of defense, and then having that help on that backside. So you're showing them an athletic look, not really giving up no athleticism in front of him. And then if he beats him, you got all those big bodies in the back. And Ant is finding a hard time getting shots that he likes in that. So I want to say that, but I want to revisit something that's going viral right now. Some of the things Stephen A. Smith said about Kyrie responses to him, because he said that Kyrie should have retired, when he was going through that stuff in Brooklyn. And now we're looking at it, and Kyrie may have a chance to play Boston in the finals, a team that he was previously at before he went to Brooklyn, and try to beat them in the NBA Finals. Because it's going to be tough for Minnesota to go there and win 2 games. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But let's revisit those comments, and I'll be back. Let's peep it.
Stephen A.
Thank you.
Max has already responded to this. So I want to ask you, do you think that Kyrie is worth all of this drama?
No, he's not. He's not worth it at all. A matter of fact, let me say this straight up and down. I think Kyrie Irving should retire. I think he should announce his retirement today. Clearly, you don't want to play basketball bad enough. Now, you might still want to get the $33.4 million, obviously devoid of some of the docked pay you'll receive because you haven't complied with safety protocol measures. And as a result, the league is going to determine when you come back instead of yourself or taking personal leave and obviously forfeiting game checks or whatever the case may be. But still in all, at the end of the day, you know what? You're still going to get, in excess of $20 million at the very least, even though you're on the books of $33.4 million this year. Kyrie Irving has not prioritized basketball. I'm not saying he doesn't want to play all together. I'm saying he hasn't prioritized it. And how fair is that to the Brooklyn Nets? How fair is that to Sean Marks? How fair is that to Steve Nash, a coach that he endorsed bringing on board, a coach that he wanted, a coach that he fully supported? How fair is that to his brother, Kevin Durant?
Authentically, it can't come with a script. These dudes read off scripts. They calling me unintelligent, calling me all these different types of names, and they will never say it to my face. They will never, ever come up to me in person and say that type shit to my face. Ever. Fans, anybody come up and say that to my face, because they know what I stand for. I stand for so many things bigger than this game, and right now it's not just about the game of basketball. It's about helping your fellow human being understand that they have a choice. If you're staying safe, you following COVID protocols, you wearing a mask, and you're unvaccinated or you're vaccinated, that's on you. You should stand on that. But that doesn't mean going out and advocating for things for other people to do with their lives.
And I love Kai. I say this all the time. Kai's the dude that you become friends with in college, that when you're sitting around in the dorm room, or just chilling in your place, he's going to get into a deep conversation no matter what. Yeah. You could all be talking sports, and Kai's going to ask you, what's this really mean? Yeah, what's this really mean to you? What's in your heart? And as long as you're cool with that, which I am, and J Kidd is, and the guys are, he's easy, you know, because his heart's always in the right place.
So now as we look at Kyrie and the level of basketball he's playing now, these things is coming back up. And this is why I say personally, you know, you can't really make the man do anything, or you can't try to force him to do what you would do in that situation. Especially with some of the things he said recently about Brett Favre and how he's taken up, not Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and the way he's been taking up for him, you know, with his stance on the vaccinations and everything surrounding COVID. Kyrie is playing big time basketball. The Mavs, I've been critical of the Mavs letting Brunson go, but adding Kyrie Irving, if Luka is going to have the ball most of the time, Kyrie Irving fits better for that because he's played with a player like LeBron James before, and he's thrived in a position where the wing is playing the point guard spot most of the time, has the ball and distributes most of the time. Kyrie has such a great offensive skill set that he can get it in the half court. He can get it without being ball dominant. You can put him on the ball, and also the athletes they've put all around the court. Now Tim Hardaway Jr. isn't a starter you're relying, on to get you 17 points a night. You are relying on him to help you off the bench. So now they have depth. People have gone into their rightful roles, and this team has a legit chance to win the championship, and Luka Doncic is playing at an all-time level. Although, what he may give up on the defensive end, I saw Luka dig in, keep some balls alive last night and show some effort, when that game was in the balance. So I have to give him that love. But Kyrie Irving coming over to Dallas, Mark Cuban embracing him. The things he said about Kyrie Irving as far as, getting to understand him. Now everything's running smooth, and he's found a home in Dallas. And now a lot of teams would love to have him because now you're saying Kyrie Irving can beat you. Anthony Edwards came out and said that was his matchup. Well, Kyrie's not like other matchups. Kyrie, it's funny because Kyrie was talking to Kobe like that when he was younger, and when Kobe got in the game, Kobe locked him up and blocked his shot. So you got to think Kyrie has gone up against those type of dogs. So as good as Anthony Edwards is at 22, he offers little to no resistance to what Kyrie wants to do as far as, scoring on the floor and doing his thing. And Anthony Edwards is having a harder time getting by him and getting the shots he wants on Kyrie than Kyrie is on him, even when they're matched up, right? So I think, Dallas, even if they drop a home game, for them to drop 2 at home, I don't foresee it. And partly because Cat does not like the physicality of Daniel Gafford, what's my man name, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively. That's not the type of big he likes to face. Jokic, as good as he is on the offensive end, he was a total liability on the defensive end of the floor. And always kind of has been. That's why they depend on Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. so much. The thing is, that Denver team would have been a tougher matchup. I heard Barkley and Draymond say this last night. They would have been a tougher matchup for the Dallas Mavericks. But having those two dynamic offensive players, if you look at Luka Doncic, okay, they run the screen and roll. You got PJ sitting over there in the corner. You got Kyrie on the wing as an option. You got Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford in the back, for the lob. You might have Josh Green on the floor. So you got some guys who can knock down open three-pointers. PJ Washington didn't have his best shooting night last night, but he is capable of knocking down several threes. You got Kyrie Irving. You just can't leave him because he's just too good. And a lot of times he's more of a threat than the man who has the ball in his hands, and Luka Doncic on the offensive end. So you can't leave him. And that lob threat is there. Those bigs, they rim run at an elite level, both of them. They rebound. Lively is a rebounding monster. I expect him to be at the top of the league, for many years to come in rebounding. But, they're very low maintenance, don't need touches. Just activity is their MO, right? So screening, rolling, shot blocking, and high efficient shooting because they're dunking most of the time. So, and Daniel Gafford showed me a little bit last night with those little jump hooks in the lane. So what do you give up is what I'm saying. Like when Luka's coming downhill, or even Kyrie when he has the ball, and I see him make a few dishes, get a few lobs late last night. What do you give up? Because those guys have in between game, they have game behind the arc, and you can't leave the other one. And they have threats on the perimeter. I guess you give up the PJ Washington 3, hope he misses. Only problem with that is he is a really good shooter, and PJ Washington can go for 35. So it's not nothing you necessarily want to give up. Josh Green, those guys shoot pretty good. And Lively and those guys, right? So if you come up and help, you bring the big up to help. Now you got good offensive rebounders just left unattended, or you got a guard trying to switch down and try to box them out when they already have position. So it's a lot for them to figure out, I feel like, if they're going to turn this series around. But I want to give kudos to Kyrie Irving, Mark Cuban, first and foremost. He's done a lot of things. Finney Smith, he went and reunited him with his father out of prison and all this type of stuff, man. He got him out for him for Father's Day, man. So I want to give Mark Cuban his love too. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Kyrie Irving for proving everybody wrong. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.